Hey, this is DustMouret, and once again I'm going to be showing you some smokes and tips and stuff like that, and this time it's going to be on DE_Inferno, and this is just going to be some stuff that I've learned along the way. Some of these smokes come from players such as Michael3D, as well as some stuff I learned from the Curse Pro Tip videos, which is a great series to check out. Lots of cool stuff from all the former and current players for Curse and CSGO, for smokes and flashes and all that good stuff. I'm going to start on T side. I'm going to start out with Banana and just some cool stuff I can show you as you try to make some takes on this B bomb site. And so that is how we'll kick it off. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to smoke off CT spawn. A very important thing to do whenever you're executing the B bomb site. So the way that I do it is I get inside this little area where you see the tree, and I just get all the way inside the back corner, get my smoke out. I'm going to aim on the fourth fence post, which is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, so this one right here. Aim a little bit above it, like so. I'm going to take a quick step forward and then release, like that. Just a real quick step. And as you can see, it's going to bounce right here, and it's going to block off CT spawn. And I like this because not only does it block off vision from CT spawn, but it also prevents somebody from like playing on the corner and still getting peeks off, because some smokes will land a little bit deeper, and so they can still kind of peek in this general area. And that smoke that I just threw completely eliminates everything. So it's just a really useful smoke for you to use on takes on Banana. So the next smoke that I'm going to show you is going to be a smoke that you can use to smoke off the spools area. Basically, it just blocks players playing by spools in that construction area of the site from being able to spot you as you're pressing up Banana. So what I do is I just get all the way up against the wall, and I kind of line up on the seams of these two logs here, just kind of right in the middle of them basically. And then what I do is I aim my crosshair like right in the middle here of this wall. There's kind of like this darker gray area that starts like right here, that separates from the lighter gray area, or it's just basically in the middle of this this little curve or whatever you want to call it. So basically I just get my crosshair lined up there, and I want to get at the height of this corner right here. So I just come up until I hit that spot, and I just toss it. And what this does is it's going to pop right here in front of spools, and it blocks anybody from back here from being able to spot anybody going inside the site. Even if they're up on top of this first spool, they still can't see anything. Now they can jump up here and get maybe a little bit of vision, but that's a pretty crazy peek. I haven't really seen many people do it, and you should be able to probably kill that guy as soon as you're pressing through. He's going to be pretty exposed. So that's definitely going to be a good smoke you can use in combination with the CT spawn smoke on your executions on Banana. So basically I've showed you how to smoke off CT spawn, I've showed you how to smoke off spools. So just for the purpose of me explaining Banana takes, just imagine that this area is completely smoked off and this area is completely smoked off. So what I like to do whenever I'm doing Banana takes is, since I know that I have spools blocked off and CT spawn blocked off, there's a few areas that I still have to worry about when executing the bomb site. Those areas would be right here, which most people call oranges. It's basically playing in between these two stacks. Then you have people maybe playing like this, which I don't know what you call this. I kind of call it silos because it's not oranges, it's on the other side. Some people have different names for it. So you have to kind of worry about people here as well. Then you also have to worry about people playing behind what's called new box, which is kind of like a name from Source, peeking this crack, or just playing behind it very passively, waiting for you to press in so they can quick peek you this way. And then also you have people who hide in this dark corner somewhere just in the general area. Some people call it dark corner, some people call it emo, just whatever you want to call it. And occasionally you might see people play inside the fountain or something like that. You know, it's just kind of can be all over the place really. But you have eliminated CT spawn, you have eliminated spools. So now I'm just going to kind of talk you through how I would execute the site. So basically, with all of the areas I've told you that you have to worry about, and the areas you've already blocked off, some cool tips when you're taking the site. I like to send my first couple of people all the way here to where generator used to be, to go ahead and clear out oranges in the silo. The reason for that is because if you just come up the stairs, you know, it's pretty much an equal fight. You know, they can see all of you, you can see all of them, and it's basically just who gets the shot off best is going to win the fight. But if you do it this way, it's actually really hard for them to see you. They can really only see your head while you can pretty much see all of them. And if you crouch like this, and they can't really hit you at all as you're playing the wall space, so you can just kind of do like quick peeks like that. So it's just a little bit more advantageous to come this way and then maybe jump your way up here and clear this stuff out. So that's maybe like with 1 or 2 players could probably do that, while the other people are focused on the new box area, since this is already smoked off. Then once you've cleared this, and then you can go ahead and come back here and start clearing out emo, dark corner, and then at that point you should be pretty good position to go ahead and plant the bomb. So another cool thing I wanted to show you for banana takes is a Molotov that you can throw. Now, I learned this kind of experimenting with a friend of mine. His name's Stitch. Jordan Turner also went by Siege. Some people may know him from Counter-Strike Source. He's just a really good friend of mine I've known for like almost my whole gaming career, about 8 or 10 years or something like that. And me and him, like, we used to always just get in servers and play around with stuff. And we played around with a Molotov to help out at New Box. And so this is really cool. I haven't really seen anybody use this, so maybe this will be kind of one of the new things that you learn in this video, since some of the other things might be stuff you already knew. And basically what I do is I just get up against these logs here, and I'm going to crouch. And what I do is I aim at the 3rd fence post to the left of this lamp here. So just 1, 2, 3. So right here. And what I do is I put the top reticle of my crosshair just like in line basically with the top of the fence post, kind of like this. And then I just toss it. And what it does is it bounces through there, and it actually sets off right here behind the new box. What's really cool about this Molotov is it forces this player out. So basically, they have to come out in the open, is the point of this. So they can't hide behind the new box and make these quick peeks anymore. They have to get out. Sometimes the Molotov doesn't pop exactly all the way, so they can still kind of safely play this crack. But either way, they're in the open. They're not able to just hide. So whenever you're executing, you should be able to pre-peek this crack and get him. Or, like I said, they may be out in the open over here, in which case it's an even easier shot to get him, and then you can proceed to check your oranges in the other area over there. So, that's just a really cool Molotov. You can also, from that same position, pop a flash or a nade on him as well, I guess, and maybe have a similar effect. But the Molotov is just really, really cool for banana takes. Some other cool things you can do on banana takes is, you can pre-nade these spots by bouncing off this fountain. So if you kind of angle it like that, it's going to explode right there. And then if you aim a little bit more to the left, like on the other edge, like that, you can pop a nade over here. So that's something else that you could possibly do on banana takes. Other than that, of course, people always typically flash over the roof, but you have to be really careful about that. You might flash your own teammate, and a lot of these flashes are pretty easy to be seen by players inside the site, and they'll probably be able to avoid them. But I think that the 2 smokes I showed, the one that blocks off CT spawn, the one that blocks off spools, in conjunction with the Molotov I just showed you, you can really throw some cool stuff together. So what I would do is just, when the smokes bloom here and here, I would pop that molly I just showed you there, and then once that molly pops, then go ahead and start sending everybody out, and then clearing everything, and then getting that bomb planted. So that's kind of what I would do with the team, but it's really up to you. You can use the smokes and molly and flashes just however you want. Some other people like to bank flashes, or excuse me, smoke grenades like right here. So some people just like to just bank something like that, and with that smoke, instead of attacking the bomb site, they might actually slip in and try to wrap around construction. So I've seen that too, and that's something that you can think about doing as well. But yeah, so that should be some good stuff to get you guys started on taking banana on terrorist side of DE Inferno. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you. Okay, so the next thing to talk about is executing middle in the A bomb site from terrorist side. So I'm going to show you a series of different smokes that you can use on arch side mid and the library, and also truck side mid or the lane side. So the first one I'll show you is how to smoke off arch the best way that I know how. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to get all the way up against this wall here behind me, and you're just going to space over to the right until this disappears. So as you can see, I'm just going to go over right, and that's disappeared. And then what I'm going to do once I accomplish that is I want to basically aim my crosshair at this clothing pin that holds up this this pair of boxers that are like blue and white checkerboard or whatever. So I just basically put my crosshair right there on the clothing pin and I just toss it. It's going to bounce right inside the arch, and it does a great job of smoking it off. The reason why I like this smoke is because unlike some other arch smokes that land a little bit deeper inside the archway, no one can play in this. I mean, you can't like quick peek the corner. The smoke completely blocks you off. So you eliminate people from viewing you from CT spawn as well as someone trying to play the corner. Like I said, some would land deeper, and then you could still kind of play the corner here and peek. And so the one that I showed you will completely eliminate all of that and just completely block off arch to where you don't have to worry about it at all. Alright, so the next smokes I'm going to show you are smokes for library, and there's two different ones I like to throw, and it just depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. So for example, if I want to completely block off the library so that I can execute through arch into CT spawn for some type of B pinch, I'm going to throw a different smoke than if I wanted to actually go around Moto and execute some type of A split. So the first one I'm going to show you is if I wanted to block off library completely and attack archway. Basically, for both these smokes, you want to line up like where this area that I'm shooting at is straight ahead of you, like so. And the first I'm going to show you is, like I said, if I want to block off library completely, and the way I do that is I aim on the clothing pin here of this black and white striped sock. And I'm going to aim at the height of this corner here on this bell tower thing. And once again, I'm going to do that quick step like I did when I was doing the banana smokes earlier for CT spawn. You just kind of quick step and throw. And what this is going to do is pretty much completely block off library. Now you can throw it a little bit better than I just did, and it'll bank off the wall a bit harder, and it'll actually block off this crack as well, so a meta player can't see you. But essentially, yeah, it blocks off library to where you can execute through arch. And like I said, if you do a little bit more of a step than what I did, it'll bank off the wall a little bit harder and actually do a complete smoke off. So I'll see if I can just do that real quick just to show you how the full effect works. I kind of messed that up, and I don't feel like re-recording this. So I'm going to see if I can't just get it a little bit better than what I did. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So basically just kind of playing around with that quick step and you should get it pretty much perfect, something to mess around with. Alright, so the next smoke I'm going to show you for library is if I wanted to execute on A and not go through the archway. Basically what I do is I line up the exact same way that I did before. Except this time, instead of aiming at the clothing pin, I'm actually going to aim right here on the top right hand corner of this wood thing. I'm aiming at the same height, so just right up here. I'm going to take the same quick step and throw. And what this does is it lands to the little bit to the left, so it still blocks the library door, but it allows me to peek Moto and actually, you know, trade some kills here. So basically I can kind of quick peek the Moto from inside the smoke a little bit, kill anybody up close maybe, and then proceed to kind of check library. So you can really throw whatever you want, and in all honesty, depending on exactly where you aim in this general area, you can do all kinds of different library smokes, and it's just really what works for you. Of course, you're going to have different crosshair settings and stuff like that maybe than me, and you know, all that good stuff. So just kind of mess around with aiming smokes in this general area, and eventually you'll find one that you maybe like a little bit better. So the other thing I would like to tell you about is if you are going to be, you know, wrapping around Moto. So let's say you have that library smoke and that archway smoke, and you're going to be wrapping around Moto. You know, you want to kill this guy up close, but you know, you have to worry about people playing graveyard, people playing pit, and then you have to worry about clearing the site as well. So to eliminate some of that, what I like to do is if you just get right here in the closet that CTs play sometimes, and you basically aim your crosshair right on this chimney, like on the tip of it, so like that. This will actually go ahead and smoke off the pit for you. So whenever you do clear out, you know, up close, you can then proceed to start clearing out the site, and people can't see you as easily from pit. The only way they can really see you is if they play like up on the truck or something like that. So that's a pretty good smoke. And it also even allows people coming truck side mid to not be spotted out by people playing in that area of pit. So if you're splitting arch and truck side, that smoke will also benefit people coming this way. So that's just another smoke to think about using on your ATICs. So the last smokes I want to show you for T side on this map are really tough. Basically what I do is I edge this wall with the window. So I want to be able to see the window this time rather than before I wanted to have it gone. And essentially what you can do if you aim it right, and it's really hard, is if you aim basically in the top left hand corner of this wood piling above the window, and you kind of aim at the height of this corner of the this A scene or whatever the heck it is. So basically something like this and something like that, basically. You let it go. If you do it right, it will block off pit for you once again, just like the other smoke I did if you want to throw it a different way than having to throw it from inside the closet. And another thing you can do another way you can do that exact same smoke is if you line up like I had before for the arch side smokes, you can actually kind of aim it from here. So go up this line here and pretty much just kind of place your crosshair right on the edge of the roof. Toss that one. That also will do kind of the same thing, even though sometimes it actually lands inside there, but it still has the same general purpose. But there's one that I've been trying to work on, and it's something I've seen Michael 3D do, and basically this coming up here, if you get it just right, see if I can do it. It's a toughie. It's something you're definitely going to have to experiment with. You see how that happened? It'll actually sometimes bounce on that rail of the truck and bloom like it did. And what this actually does is it gives cover for people coming out balcony to try to get into pit. Basically, nobody's sight library can see you. Really, they can only see you from this corner right here, but no one playing inside the site will be able to see you, or anybody at library or over here will be able to see you. That's something you're really going to have to experiment with because everybody has different crosshair settings, and some people, of course, use right-handed models where I use left-handed models. So that's something you really have to play around with. It's not easy at all. And so that's kind of the last smoke that I really had for T side for A. Now the only other smokes I can tell you about are simple ones that you can bank, you know, like this or like this, that if you want to block off either side of mid while you're executing the other. So smoke this off, work arch, smoke that off, work truck. It's really, really simple to do, nothing really difficult about it. There are also some flashes I've seen people throw, you know, off here that they can use to execute. I've also seen people line up behind this barrel and throw pop flashes, you know, on the arch side mid. So something else to think about for mid takes. Also, I know that you can like bank nades off this like window right here coming out of boiler, something like that, or flash bangs, and it'll maybe flash people inside the site. So something else to think about. And other than that, that's pretty much it. There's so much other things that you can do with Inferno T side, but it's really just up to you and your team and what you're comfortable with and what you like to do. So the last thing I wanted to do is kind of talk about CT side just a little bit for Inferno as well. Most people play 2 people banana and 3 people towards A. So there's a couple different things you can do with that. For one, you can kind of keep stuff like this smoked off for a while and play banana a little bit more passively. Maybe have a crossfire with somebody's CT spawn, somebody inside the site, and just refresh this smoke as much as you can. Typically, I'll kind of wait for noise to happen before I pop this smoke, but it's just up to you. Now, if they ever do smoke off CT spawn, like I talked about when I was talking about T side, the best thing that you can do is go ahead and have a guy CT spawn just go ahead and go construction and kind of play here. And the guy that was playing site can, you know, go play, you know, new box or something like that. That way you kind of have a bit of a crossfire whenever they actually come inside the site. Or I'll tell you one cool angle I like to play sometimes that you can do maybe once or twice that'll catch people off guard is just play back here in emo and crouch and just kind of watch them run in. Because typically when they're running in, they're focused on, you know, oranges and right here in new box, and they're not necessarily focused on emo right at first. So sometimes you can catch like the first person in playing this angle. Or, you can have your site guy fall back into construction as well and just kind of have one in construction and one, behind the spools, and just kind of wait for your team to rotate. Other than that, some people like to leave banana with just one person and play a little bit stronger A setup. And basically that's something that Juan kind of made popular for Team 3D and Counter-Strike Source is whenever they were getting a lot of action in mid and alternate mid, what he would do is, once you typically people will play kind of a crossfire with one truck side, one, arch side playing the closet or playing the corner or something like that. Well, let's say they're pressuring you hard and you don't want to give them a free kill. Typically what would happen is like your apartments player might drop off a balcony or whatever he's doing and play inside pit, while your truck side player would play inside the bomb site. And basically, the guy pit, this guy's site are going to kind of trade off. So this guy may initially watch apartments while this guy initially watches truck side mid. But if he gets smoked out, then he might focus on apartments while you focus on truck side. Or let's say this guy gets spotted by a truck side player, so they're kind of preoccupied watching pit. Well, then y'all might communicate that, hey, they spotted me, I want to watch apartments, and then they might not expect you to quick peek from the site and get a kill. So something like that. But essentially the point is you have one site, one pit, and then you may have this guy, fall back into library or arch, and you may have one of your banana players take the other one. So you have one arch, one library, one pit, one site. This is actually a really cool setup because if they take A, then you have a really strong presence there. And if they do want to take a banana, well, you have a person arch, you have a person library, and they're pretty fast rotates over to B. So with your solo B player, I would recommend maybe keep him inside construction, and that way he can stay alive. And this keeps construction open for a retake point. Because let's say the solo B player played, up close or new box or whatever. What could happen is, A, he might get a bunch of frags and win the round for you and it won't even matter. But the chances are is that he'll probably trade and die. And if he does, and your people are still rotating through CT spawn, all of a sudden, the terrorists can take control of construction, and that's one more thing you have to worry about on a retake. If you leave your solo B player inside construction, you know that while this is smoked off most likely while they're taking the bomb site, your players can rotate, and you can have multiple players inside construction able to, flash over, spam these different corners. I've seen people spam this to kill people planting the bomb, or spam this to kill people playing, in construction and whatnot. So I mean, yeah, just having this as an extra retake point is always important. So I'd always kind of recommend, if you do have a solo person banana, to go ahead and have him play construction. Now you can also play a more aggressive banana where you actually, smoke this off and you get car for free, or you throw your smoke even deeper and you actually like play some kind of crossfire with one logs, one like this, and you get huge banana control and you completely eliminate that, and that's just another thing that you can do. I've also seen, people smoke down mid like that, or maybe a little bit better, something like that, and then use that smoke to peek arch and be aggressive. Or, you can have somebody play balcony while somebody plays boiler, and you can have like a double crossfire on the apartments and even get aggressive and get inside a window room, and you can do all kinds of stuff on the CT side. So that's just a few things that I like to do. Popping smokes in here to impede apartments pushes can be good. Smoking mid just like you did at banana to slow down pushes is also good. And there's all kinds of stuff you can do, so that's just a couple of tips that I have. I think that pretty much wraps it up. To sum it up, I showed you a couple of really good smokes for banana on Terra's side to block off this area and this area. That way you can focus your attention on clearing out, new box and oranges and all that good stuff in the dark corner without having to worry about spools or CT spawn, as well as a really cool Molotov that even forces this new box player out of position and gives you maybe a little bit easier time clearing out the site. And I've also shown you some pretty cool ways on Terra's side to smoke out arch, smoke out library, work some type of either arch to CT spawn or some type of wraparound moto into the site. I've also shown you smokes for pit to help with that, and some stuff that you can throw to help you truck side mid as well. So that kind of sums up Terra's side. And CT side, it's really easy to change it up however you want. Aggressive banana, passive banana, one banana, two banana, or 4A, standard 3A setup, standard site pit crossfires, or crossfires up close on mid. You know, you can play people graveyard, watching the apartments. There's just all kinds of stuff you can do, but I've just tried to show you some of the basics and just to give you some ideas if you've run out. So hopefully this is helpful to some people. I'm sure a lot of this stuff is stuff that you already knew, especially for some of the more experienced players that might be watching this, but I hope that at least one person learned something from this, and that it's helpful to somebody, because if it helps at least one person, then it was totally worth me making. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and make sure you follow me up on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Just search DustMouret, and you can check out the YouTube for more videos. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.